History repeats itself. Weak men create hard times. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times, and good times create weak men. And that brings us full circle to the hard times and to the separation we are all about to experience. And why? Because government has once again become self-serving and destructive of the ends it was instituted to serve. Let's review the process. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitles them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundations on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Again, government has become destructive of the ends it was instituted to serve. Government refuses to secure equality in the exercise of unalienable rights. This is a presidential election year. Government continues to refuse to properly obtain and secure our consent. Consent that is not transparent and cannot be verified is not legitimate consent. Without legitimate consent, there can be no legitimate and peaceful transfer of power. Without legitimate consent, there can be no legitimately delegated representation or authority of any kind, period. Election administrators have not been wise. They have not listened. They have built a house of cards and seeded their own destruction. A storm is brewing around this house of cards, and great will be the fall of it. Everyone is about to witness the dire consequences of not having the right people in power. And they're not going to be happy about it. The wrong people currently in power have invited millions of trigger-happy illegals into our country who are just waiting for the signal. The destructive riots of 2020 were a cakewalk compared with what you are about to see. It is going to get rough. But then, freedom never came without a huge price tag. And that is what yesterday was all about, reminding us of the huge price tag. So be it. Every man dies. But not every man lives. And worse, not every man finds the narrow road to eternal life that comes through simply doing justly, loving mercy, and walking humbly with God. There is no peaceful transfer of power without legitimate consent, without transparent and verifiable consent.
Are there any other members